Welcome to the session. This is all about using email. In fact, all of you know how to use email, otherwise, you would have not been here attending the course. But still, using email is something like searching the internet. We all think that we know, but at the same time, there are many features which we do not know. Hence, this topic is listed for discussion today. And when you are attending this particular session, you will often find that you must be knowing it, but doesn't matter. Have a refresh, have a revision, and in fact, you can even refer this session to those people who are not using mail but wants to give email and do other things. It will be very useful for them. So the objective is to learn various operators that are associated with the email. Email is one of the major internet services for exchanging information between different users on the internet. Now, when I say exchanging information, we are referring to messages. And when we say different users, we are speaking about different hosts on the internet. So, in case you want to communicate to somebody, you should be on the net, the other person should also be on the net. Only then it's possible that you give email, and only then it is possible that the person reads the mail. Email, it stands for electronic mail, and an email is a service for an internet user to send a message to another internet user in any part of the world. An email takes time to reach its destination user because it passes from one network to another network until it reaches its destination. The time taken by the email is relatively very small and may be of a magnitude of few seconds. And in case your email domain and the recipient email domain are same, then the delivery may be faster. Though I am not saying it will be faster, but it may be faster because there are reasons for it. In case your domains are different, yes, there may be some time consumption, which is a few seconds between the time you send the email and the time by which the recipient receives the mail. Email services are logically very similar to the postal mail services. Like postal mails, email users also have to write an email address of the recipient for sending mails to them. In fact, you can try to map the postal services to email services and vice versa. What is that which is not possible that you can do with email but not with the postal service? And if there is anything that you can do only with postal service but not by email, then also you can indicate. You take it as an assignment and you can drop an email to me about the possibilities of email and postal service and their exclusive possibilities. An email user has a logical mailbox just like each one of you may have a mailbox in your home. When you send mail to another user, you specify the email address of the receiver just as you write postal address of the receiver in the postal mail system. The recipient of mail need not be present at the time of delivery of the mail. Receiver can extract the mails from the mailbox and read it as per his or her convenience. Therefore, the email system is also called asynchronous communication as the recipient need not be present at the time of delivery. After reading the message can be saved, the message can be deleted, or even message can be forwarded. And email plays a very major role in not only day-to-day works but also in the careers of the people because, for example, if you consider a PAN card, it is possible that I scan it and store it in my email by dropping an email to myself because it is very easy to locate it because we can write in the text box PAN or something like that, and it tracks the PAN card that are available in entire email messages and show them to you so that you can pick up the right one. And in the absence of it, it will be very difficult to upload images and try to download a particular image because there it's a version. Suppose I keep on uploading my photos. And in one directory, if I find 100 or 200, then which one I really find out and which one I really download and I really use it. So an email is very useful because in subject box you can write about the document so that it is searchable using advanced search, if not the direct search. So after reading the search, it is possible that the person saves it, the person may delete it, or he can pass it on to somebody else. An email message may contain text, images, and graphics. In addition, it is also possible to add video and audio data to the mail. An email system, if compared to postal mail, telephone, and fax, has many advantages. An email can reach their destinations very fast than that of a postal mail. Thus, emails are faster mode of communication than the other modes. An email system, unlike the telephone system, does not require the recipient to be online. So the person can still communicate with each other without being online. An email account, unlike fax documents, can be stored in computer and can be easily edited using software like Microsoft Office, OpenOffice, and others. So one very important thing here is that an email is a backbone of any person who is on the net and who is into working online or doing things interesting. First, a user prepares an email using mail creation program called user agent. After creating a message, user agent passes the email to the mail server where message is lined up for transmission. The mail server of mail sender uses SMTP. It is a protocol and it is a short form of protocol, and if we expand it, it can be called simple mail transfer protocol, which is used to transmit the email message to the mail server of the recipient. The sending mail server uses the domain name service to resolve the IP address of remote mail server, which is recipient's mail servers. Once you find out the correct IP address of the remote mail server, the sending mail server starts SMTP client and initiates a TCP connection to the SMTP server of the remote mail server at the TCP port 25. When connection is established, the simple mail transfer protocol client and server exchange SMTP commands and transfer the email message. Commands and email messages are transmitted as plain text using ASCII characters. Non-text fields are first converted into ASCII characters before transmission. Now let's have a look into the structure of an email address. For example, in cit@igno.ac.in, there are two parts. The first part, CIT, which is written before @ is the local part of the address and it signifies the username of the recipient. And the second part, igno.ac.in after @ is the domain name which identifies the mail server location. Let me just remind you that ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information and Interchange. So ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Now let us see how we can create an email account. By now you must have understood the basic purpose of an email and its advantages over other types of an email. An internet user is able to use this service to send email to his friends anywhere in the world, but for sending and receiving mails, you must have your own email account. You can get an email account from your internet service provider, for example, like a BSNL or an MTNL or an Airtel or a Vodafone or a Reliance Jio, who are some of the internet service providers who had given you the internet connection, or your organization may set up its own server or hire the services to set up their own email system where you may get an email account. You can create your own account with free email service providers, sometimes called webmails. And these service providers are Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, Rediffmail, and there are many more. One important thing is that most of these email providers not only provide you a free version of the email service, but also they offer paid versions. In the case of paid versions, normally we expect that junk mail will not be included, so that we read those messages which are delivered to the outbox, and there are no messages that are delivered to the junk. However, the charges may be not just for that purpose but also for other products and services they provide. So it is always possible to find a free email service, and the same service will also be a paid service which will be providing you the additional facilities or features. First of all, we have to register with any website which provides free email service. Some of these websites are Yahoo, MSN, Rediffmail, and other things. Of course, there are others also, and the registration process is very simple and easy. You may have to enter just your basic information, and in our discussion, we have used an account with the Google Gmail. However, it is possible that you create the account with any of the web service that provides free email account. For registration, there are few steps to follow. Open a web browser by clicking on your browser, type URL or address of the website, type www.gmail.com and press the enter key. It will open the Gmail home. On that page, you select sign up for Gmail link for opening an account. Fill up your information on related fields and create an email ID. Gmail will also make sure that your email ID is unique. You need to set a password for your account for security, and a password is only authentication between your mail account and you. So it should be long enough such that you can memorize it easily, yet others should not be able to guess your password. The security question helps in recovering the password in case you forgot your password. If you have no objection to those, then click on I accept and then click on create my account button. Before clicking this button, be sure to fill all the required information, including the verification word as shown in the figure or image. Now let us see how you can access your email account. Once you have created an account, you are ready to access it at any point of time later. You need to perform some steps to access your account, and some of them are that first you open the browser by clicking on your own Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox or a Google Chrome or any other browser. Type address of the website www.gmail.com. Open the home page of the website. Fill with same Gmail ID, sometimes referred as username and password, which you had created at the registration time, and then click on the sign in button. You will now enter your account where you can see and write an email, read an email. Then also it is possible that you save your email and also you perform different actions. Once you have successfully signed in, you can access your mails. Please notice that at this point, you will see a list of links. Now you have a look at the image. These links are inbox, which contains all the good mails that have been received in your account. When I say good mails, it doesn't mean that it is 100% accurate. There are chances that you get some bad mails also, but it also depends on how much you access internet. Starred, it keeps track of all important mail that you have shared. Please notice a star mark before the mail. When you click it, the mail is starred. You star a mail if it requires your attention in the near future. And then there is a Google chat. It stores all the chat details or conversation. Then we have sent mail, which keeps track of mails that have been created and sent by you. You can reference this link for any future use. And it also offers draft. Basically, drafts keep track of the malls that have been created and used. So basically, here you try to create something, but you left it in the midst and you thought that we will resume later. So basically, draft keeps track of the mails that have been created by you but have not been so far used. And then we have all mail option where all the mails like inbox mail, send mail, Google and others can be showed. Then we have a spam link which stores all the unsolicited emails like junk mails. Sometimes some important mails are directed to spam folder, so we need to be very careful. Then we have a trash link which keeps track of all the recently or deleted mails. This folder is emptied periodically. I have a word of caution before you start using emails. In the present time, you may receive many mails asking the details with your money, like user ID and password information. So please do not give any such information to anybody. If you do that, the chances are that your email account may be misused. Maybe you will not be able to use your account, but somebody else may start using it. This may result in the sending of unsolicited or fraudulent mails from your account to some person in your address book or otherwise, which may land you in trouble. So to avoid any such thing to happen, please make sure that you use a safe password which is difficult to guess even by your friends. Also, never share it with others. Also, remember not to divulge any information related to the email account as well as related to the security question. You must be remembering that whenever you are creating an email account, you are also giving a secret question. So in case you are unable to log in and when you click on forgot password link and after a few attempts, the system will say that I'll ask you the question, you give the answer. So this particular question is very, very secure. So you have to remember not to divulge any information related to security question that has been put while registering for the email account. This information may also be used maliciously. Please also do not disclose any information about your account. If you want to read your emails, then you have to click inbox link. Inbox is basically a box when you are all communicating with each other. That is the place where all emails that are coming to you will be landing. So in case you want to read your mails, then you have to click inbox link. Inbox is basically a box where all your mails are stored till you delete them or move them to other folders. In inbox, there are few options related to mail such as start, delete, move to, labels, mark as read, mark as unread, report spam, or other relationships or other such things. So there are many things which we have seen that is possible to be done from a email. But one important thing is that you need to be sure that nobody cracks your email account. You can put a star mark for any mail that is important to you. You have to just click on the dimmed star button in starting of the sender name. You can also move a mail to any folder by selecting that mail and click on the move to button. You can also mark a mail as read or unread. If you mark a mail as read, then it means that whether you read it or not, it will not be highlighted. So it is very much important that you take care of your own system regarding this particular mark as read strategy. The report spam button is used to move a particular mail to the spam, and in future, if any mail from this sender comes, it will be automatically reflected to the spam. If the mail is not useful to you, then you can delete it directly. And also, in case you think that an email landed in your folder and which you think that such mail should not be allowed, then you can also move this particular mail to the spam. So if a mail is not useful to you, then you can delete it and also delete it by using the delete button from the inbox. If you want to write an email, then you have to click compose button. Now the issue arises about how to read our mails. Now you are ready for accessing your emails. Now let us discuss the steps that you need to follow to access email. After signing into your account, click on the inbox link. Then it will show all the mails with sender name, subject of the mail, date and time. Click on the particular mail which you want to read. The next page will display your mail along with other sender address, subject, attachments, date, time, and many more important details. You need to know receiver's address before you can send mail to him or her. Suppose you want to send the mail to CIT003 coordinator who has the mail address pvsuresh@igno.ac.in. Then you need to follow the steps like signing into your account. Then you click the compose button. Then have a look at the image. It also displays an image where you can write your email. First, you need to know the address of the receiver. In this case, pvsuresh@igno.ac.in, and then subject of the mail. For example, query related to the duration of CIT003. If you want to send email to more than one person, then you place a comma between the addresses. For example, you may send the above mail to pvsuresh@igno.ac.in, pvs@igno.ac.in, and many more. So you have to just separate them with a comma. You can also add CC and add BCC options for sending mails to other person. CC stands for carbon copy. The person whose address is listed in the credited field. See, the person whose address is listed in the CC field of a message receives a copy of that message when you send it. All other recipients of the message sent by you can see the addresses of the persons whom you have sent a CC. But in the case of BCC, since it stands in British as a blind carbon copy, it is not possible that anything viewed can be viewed. This is almost similar to CC, except that in BCC, recipients are invisible to all the other recipients of the message. If you want to attach a file with the mail, click the attachment button. You find an attachment image, text, document, audio, and video. In our example, we upload 03/2009.doc file as an attachment. So write your message in text area where you can use some styling text tools like color, sizing, smiley, etc. So when I say etc., you can take it as many more. After writing all these things, just click send button. Your email will be sent to the respective addresses. Now have a look at the image. An email service is just not for sending or receiving of mail, but it can also be used to store contacts. The contacts button provides all information about the user like offline or online status, email ID, username, and other things. You can easily search out an email ID or contacts information with search contacts option. You can also add an email with new contact button, edit contacts other folders also. So once you edit contacts using edit button and delete unused contacts using delete contact option. For convenience, you can create groups. So you can send a similar mail to all the members of a group easily. For example, you can create a group for email IDs of CIT003 colleagues of yours. For adding a group in your contacts book, you have to click on new, then you have to click on the new group button and give an opposite. Like for example, suppose we want to create a new group, we click on the new group button and we give an appropriate name to the group. After that, we can add our contacts to that particular group. There is also an option to erase or delete a group of contacts by clicking delete group button. For sending mails to a group, you may select all the members of that group using select all and then processing the email link that appears after your selection. As you can see from the image, Gmail provides lots of facilities to their users. They are not providing just an email service to others, but it also has lots of options such as chat, photos, calendar, documents, web, and many more. There was also something called Orkut. It is closed now. So now it is possible that we go to Facebook because it is popular social networking website and it enables you to find friends and communities and the other things which are far apart. Through Facebook, it is possible to search for your friends who are not in touch with you since long time and you lost or maybe their mobile data as well as addresses they got stolen or missing. So it is possible that through Facebook you can search for your friends whom you met many years ago. Then there is a photos option. See, in the photos option, Basically, you can use it to buy figures, pictures, and it is also possible that you buy many things using this particular product. Photos caption can be used to create your online album where you can upload your pictures and finally share it with your friends and relatives. So thank you very much for attending the today's session. In case you have any doubts, please feel free to contact me on pvsuresh@ignou.ac.in. Thanks a lot.